Today, I am here with Josh Abelson. He is the co-owner and general manager of the Industrial. How you doing today, Josh?
Not too bad. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So, I think probably the best place to start here is tell me a little bit about your facility. Tell me a little bit about what you have there, the facility, and kind of what you guys are doing these days.
Yeah, definitely. So we're a full service event space here in Las Vegas. We have about 10,000 square feet of indoor space, as well as about 2 acres of outdoor space as well, located about 3 minutes from the north end of the strip, if you're familiar with that area, and then very close proximity to downtown as well. So we are a versatile space. So we host everything from large scale corporate events, private parties, weddings, trade shows, product launches. We can kind of create and customize it however the client wants it to look, which is great. We also do host small concerts as well. So the possibilities are really kind of endless with our facility here.
Awesome, awesome. One of the things that caught my attention when you and I were talking before was, kind of some of the creative things you all did. When business went away, right? Business disappeared for a little while there, and some of the creative things. What are some of the events that you all put on during the pandemic that kind of caught people's attention and were kind of fun for you and your team to do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously in the hospitality industry, we all had to get very creative, and my goal was during this whole process was to kind of hopefully keep our team on board and then keep our doors open, right? Because at the end, we knew we were going to get through this. We didn't know how long it was going to take, but we had to continue to, again, have our doors open and have that opportunity for people to book events here. So during the pandemic, we did a couple different things. We hosted a lot of webinars with event industry professionals to kind of just get people's feedback of, hey, what are you guys seeing? Are you guys getting events? Just kind of talking to people in the industry, as well as hosting drive-through events. So we did a Halloween drive-through haunted house, as well as a Christmas light show that we had to do, which was really cool. Had a lot of actors and actresses that, with all the COVID restrictions, everybody stayed in their car. It was very hands off, but still able to offer that experience to local Las Vegas people. And then, of course, we did the virtual hybrid, very small gathering. So, an event that used to be 500 people, we did about 50 people, and then streamed the whole thing with just the contestants here at the venue. So, of course, we did get through that, and it was all great and stuff, but just kind of had to be, like you said, very creative with those aspects.
Awesome, awesome. Now,
Yeah.
obviously you host a lot of events there, but you're also starting to produce some of your own events. So, what kind of events are you looking at as you go push here through 2022?
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of like small concerts for the past year. So we're really on top of our normal business of bookings and stuff. We're trying to produce our own events that are coming up. So stay tuned to that. We are having this kind of plug, but a little showcase on March 23rd for all industry professionals. So if you are interested, I'll give you guys my contact information. But that's going to be really showcasing the space as a live entertainment venue. So not only doing small concerts, but small festivals, and really utilizing the indoor and outdoor space for those kind of entertainment aspects.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I think when people think hospitality and events, they think this kind of like you've been doing this forever and you kind of got into this. One of the things that caught my attention out of this was you haven't been doing this forever though, right? I mean, this was
Yeah.
kind of a pivot of a career for you, right? Like you were with Salesforce before this, weren't you?
Yeah, I was working with corporate companies on the Salesforce platform as mostly a data analyst. So I have I guess, a non-traditional hospitality entry level right here, right? So I've been doing this for about 6 years now. So we came up, we had a family building where we kind of had a great idea of, hey, let's make this an event space based on some events that we've had here. And really, that's kind of how the business was born. So I don't have that much experience with it, but I do know that I know what a great event is, and I know what great customer service is, which has really helped me kind of build this business up from the ground up on that. So, you know, having that customer service background is it's not really rocket science in my opinion, right? You want to make sure that you put on a good event. You want to make sure that the client is happy. So that's kind of where I started with this, and I think if you put in the work with it and you want to build it, people will come, and that's how we are. That's where we're at today.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I think it's definitely is a ton of work, and you definitely you have to have a passion for this to want to keep sticking with it and moving towards it. What kind of things motivate you? I mean, this is obviously a career change, and it's awesome. It sounds like you're doing an amazing job. So, what kind of things motivate you to be successful there?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is when we have a happy client, right? That's where we've been planning an event for 6 months to a year for some of these people, and obviously they're spending a lot of money. They have a big budget with this, and they come in, and we're spending hours each week with them, and then we put on for, let's say the event is 4 hours for all this time that we spent on it, and it becomes very successful, right? And the client is super happy, and the team is happy. That's what is very rewarding to us. And then, getting people that come in this venue, since we are a little bit, coming up on 5 years, we are still fairly new in the Vegas world. But people coming in here and being like, wow, this is such a cool venue. I really like coming to like a non-traditional space like this. So the need and the demand is there. So, for us to be really creative with what we put on and how we host events is something that motivates myself and the team.
Awesome. Awesome. So, if you were to use your crystal ball, right? I mean, what are some of the trends that are changing in the event space? Let's call it pre-pandemic, and now that we're, everybody's kind of roaring back. What are some of the trends that you see are a little bit different now than there were before?
I think now I mean, it was a little bit before, but everybody's kind of moving towards like non-traditional format with events. Everybody's getting away from the boring roundtables and the presentations and stuff, right? Everybody wants an experience, right? And that's where our venue kind of plays into that, because we can create and customize it however they want it to be. If you wanted it to be a winter wonderland in here, or you want it to be a Burning Man theme, we just did a couple events like that. We can create and customize the whole venue for you on that portion, right? Everybody's been to those meetings, everybody's been to those events before, so we have to provide our clients with something different. And I think that's really where the event world is going, right? They don't want the traditional buffets, they don't want the traditional services that everybody knows for events. So how do we provide our clients with these out of the box ideas that, maybe somebody from, England has never, they coming over here for a convention they've never seen before, or they have high executives that are like, hey, we want to try something new and fun. So that's where we're kind of moving, and that's where I kind of see the direction moving with that. I think, there's always going to be a portion of events that want to do a hybrid event too with the virtual stuff, which is great, but really fun, experiential, kind of cool ideas, I think, is where we're kind of moving.
So when people come to you and they're like, hey, Josh, I want to put on an event there, X amount of people, we want to make it, fun and exciting. Are they coming with ideas, or are they just like, we want to make it fun and exciting? And then there's like a long pause and they stare at you, hoping that you have
Yeah.
some ideas on how you're going to make it happen.
Yeah, we get a little bit of both for sure. We get the very experienced veterans that come in here and they're the event planners, and they have a very specific idea and they need us to do X, Y, and Z, and we can provide that. And then you get people of like, hey, we've saved up this budget for 2 years now, and we want something really, really cool for our people. So that's where we have, all of the content that we built with video and photos and all the services and the vendors that we work with, that we can pitch them, hey, these are really fun, unique things that have worked in the past. What do you think about that? And, obviously pictures speak very loudly where they look at it, and videos, and they're like, yeah, that's really cool, I want that. Makes it easy. So it's kind of a mixture of both.
Awesome. Have you seen any popular like themes or trends within themes of what people are asking for or what they end up with?
Um, a popular one that we've done two really big events in the past 6 months was that Burning Man theme. So I don't know if it was a coincidence or whatnot, but it was like the art cars and very fun, festive, neon lights, that whole kind of actors and actresses that are dressed in costumes with that. So that's something that was really cool and fun to put on, because we had a very specific theme that we got to choose, that we got to pick from, a lot of videos that obviously we can look and inspiration from that. But I think too, also just a lot more hands-on things. So some very specific things that we've done that we found are very fun for our clients is like an axe throwing experience, right? You know,
Okay.
yeah, having something fun like that, an outdoor experience, having the entertainment outside as well as inside. So, they could have a little bar lounge outside with the DJ, and then they also have some entertainment as well inside. So those are kind of some of the unique things that a lot of people have been liking lately.
That's awesome. Having run hotels for a long time, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, how could I do an axe throwing in my hotel? The answer is I can't, right? Like, I mean, my
uh,
insurance carrier would go crazy with the idea of even having an axe in the building.
yeah,
So
and then
that's
and I mean,
awesome.
yeah, we have. I mean, obviously they sign a liability waiver
Of course.
on
Yeah,
that front, but that's what's unique about our space too. Is like we aren't a hotel and we are a private building. So the axe throwing, we've done a private fireworks show. A helicopter, a CEO wanted to come in on a helicopter and land in our parking lot. Those are the things that we can do here that are fairly easy with us. Make sure we have all the right
of
insurance
course.
and all that, but at the same time, those are things that the hotels will always turn down. So we see our clients love to hear that we can do those kind of things.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. If we look at what's kind of coming next, I think people are, they've been cooped up in their houses for 2 years, right? I mean, I think everybody's excited and interested to see that experience and the fact that you're, kind of taking it to that next level where you're not just an event, it's an experience. I think you're spot on with that there. So, you know, building these things, you have to have a heck of a team there. So talk to me a little bit about your team and kind of how you all, build and engage and work through putting these things together.
Yeah, so some people might think we got a team of 20 people that are full-time staff, which we don't. We have a really good team here, and it's a team of four of us that are full-time, right? And we have obviously a lot of contractors that have worked here for years that we kind of build in, but essentially, we when we're planning these events with the clients, it's very detailed and hands-on so that we can understand how to execute these events perfectly. Over the years, we've built a huge inventory of items that we have that we could obviously use for different events. And then having such open space is very versatile for our venue, which helps with these kind of builds. And then also, working with great vendors here in town that, hey, we can't do projections ourselves, but we have a person that we've worked with for many projects that can come in and do that. So really relying on our partners to help us produce those events to a very, very high level.
Okay. Awesome. So, I got to imagine that, you've got your core nucleus of team members, but it's got to take quite a few people to pull these things off. Is that right? I mean, I imagine it's not just the five of you all running around like crazy dressed up in costumes, right?
No, no, yeah, we rely on our vendors for a lot of that too, but obviously the food and beverage portion is huge to a lot of the events. So, we contract out a lot of work and have built our our contracted team of people over the years. So, based on the event, if it's a smaller private party, hey, we're going to have these kind of people that are going to help, or if it's a larger scale corporate stuff, yeah, we, sometimes for our events of a couple thousand people, we'll have a team of 15 people just on our end that are helping to put on the event.
Awesome. Awesome. So, business is coming back, right? I mean, if you had to say pre-pandemic versus now, like what is your 2022, 2023 outlook look like? I mean, is it the same? Is it less? Is it busier? What does that feel like for you?
Yeah, I think we're not fully at the pre-pandemic levels yet. I'd say we're about 75% there from just looking at the bookings of what we have. The spring is going to be crazy busy. I think we have every single weekend booked, which is great. But I envision it just to keep getting more and more busy, right? Some people are planning for 2023 now. I think that now the year has started. We're coming on the end of Q1. Everybody has their kind of budget situated of where they want to spend. And, like you were talking about, everybody's been working from home and not doing these kind of social events for 2 years. So everybody's trying to come back, bigger and stronger and put on these great experiences. So I think that's going to work in, not only in our favor, but the whole Las Vegas market and hospitality industry as a whole.
Awesome. Awesome. So, one of the things that, we kind of talked about was, looking at your team and kind of valuing everything that they're doing, right? Like what kind of things are you doing to keep your team engaged, to keep them, and you're managing contractors, you're managing, I'm sure, contract labor, you're managing, your core team. What kind of things are you doing to keep them all engaged and moving?
Yeah, I think just keeping them being transparent with them of what's going on, I think is the biggest thing. Since we have a smaller team, it's a little bit easier to do that, and then giving them the opportunity to grow and learn, right? Like I was talking about before, if I have my events manager in the sales department, how do I get her more involved with the operation side, right? How do I give her more opportunity to grow and build her resume as well, on that front? And then, I think just valuing everybody that's part of the team, right? We have contractor laborers that are entry level, we have bartenders, we have servers, we have setup and breakdown crews, right? Every person that comes in here is a valuable asset to help put on this event, right? We can't do it with just half the team. We need everybody involved with it. So valuing their skills and giving them the opportunity to work here and get more shifts and work hard if they're willing to put in the work and they're a good worker. I think that's really important, and showing your appreciation to everybody that works there, no matter what level they're on.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I think, valuing, and it's funny because it's real easy to talk about this stuff when everybody, is on your payroll, right? They're there every day and you're seeing them every day, but it's got to be a completely different dynamic when you're bringing in, you know, let's call it one event. You've got, half a dozen different vendors floating around the building to be able to have that engagement to make it all kind of work, right? I mean, a Burning Man party with a team of 5 plus your few other pieces floating out there. That's got to be a testament to how you guys are managing things and how you all are working with the vendors that you all have.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just communicating, right? It's great that we've been building up this team for 5 years where we can rely on these people, and our vendors are great that can help execute this with us. But just communicating with them, not having them show up 30 minutes before the event, right? Like giving them a week notice, of like, hey, this is what to expect. This is the different areas that I need your help in. This is your position that you're going to be there, and then relying on our core group, right? Not only myself to give that direction, but our operations person and our events manager to also help manage those contractors and make sure, ultimately that they're happy, right? We don't want them just kind of clocking in and, just doing your shift for 4 hours, right? We want to make it an experience for them, right? So if we're doing, to go back to the Burning Man theme party, right? Like, hey, you guys could dress up and it's going to be fun, and hey, this is going to be like a cool atmosphere, everybody's going to be having a good time. So how do we make it because we're competing with everybody on the strip, right? How do we make it a fun, enjoyable atmosphere for you guys to work here?
Awesome, awesome. So
Yeah.
so it's a smaller independent venue. You said it right there, right? You're competing with everybody, right? You've got massive casinos, entertainment venues, Cirque du Soleil. I mean, you've got all kinds of stuff around there. So what kind of things are you doing to differentiate yourself, right? Like, when people are looking for a venue, what are you doing to make it painfully obvious to everybody that they have to come and see you?
You're talking about like employees or actually like clients?
Clients. Sorry.
Clients. So yeah, so really just having unique offerings, right? Like I was talking about before, everybody knows the ballroom, everybody knows the typical places that they can book, but we want to offer a unique space that maybe your guests haven't seen before, right? Or make it more enjoyable to work with us, right? We all know events are stressful, so we try to offer like a white glove service of like, hey, not only are you going to book with us, and it's not really we're just going to open our doors and you're going to have an event, right? Every single event that we do, no matter if it's 50 people or 2,000 people, is we're holding your hand and helping you produce this from start to finish, right? So not only does that make your event great, and that's awesome, but at the end of the day, that makes our venue look even better, right? Because everybody comes here and they have a great time at the industrial event space. So I know that's a lot more work on our end, but we've learned, that this is the way that we want to do business, and we want to go the extra mile and really have a concerted effort to make sure that the event is successful with you, right? We're your partner in this. We want to be here with you, and that's I think how we've become successful and where we're at today.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think you're way ahead of the curve here, because when I talk to people, they're still talking about just trying to figure out how to recover, right? And here you are, you've set a vision, right? It's the experience, it's the personalization, it's the white glove service. It's sounds absolutely incredible. I think you're definitely on the tip of the spear here as far as exciting things that are going on in different venues. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, awesome.
So, one of the things I always like to wrap up with, right, is, you pivoted into this industry a few years ago, 6 years ago. What kind of advice do you have for somebody that's coming into hospitality now, right?
Yeah. So, um, from my experience working, I mean, definitely, I'm in a little bit of a different position because I started the business from the ground up. So I had to learn every aspect of it, right? But from if I was giving advice to somebody in the hospitality world, it would be to kind of get your feet wet in every department or every asset of the business that you can, right? So, if you're on the sales team, really understand the operations portion of it and the labor portion and somewhat of the accounting portion of it so that you can kind of see the bigger picture of how that's going to work, and everything in the hospitality world is a team effort. So you never know, obviously, when people cut a lot of their staff, you never knew where you had to jump in and help out. So I think, getting your feet wet with understanding all aspects of the business is super beneficial. And then, really just kind of putting in the work, right? I think just being very dedicated to it and putting in your work. We know, we work sometimes, 50 to 80 hours, depending on a busy event week. And, that's great. And, just kind of showing, the team that, hey, you're a really big part of it and you want to put in the effort. And, I think that's where we've become successful with our team because everybody pitches in and helps out.
That's awesome. Yeah,
you
that's, probably the heart of hospitality right there, right? Is not only servicing the clients, the guests, the customers, but also being there for your team. And I think that that's one of those things that's definitely roaring, helping the industry roar back because everybody's excited to see it. Everybody's excited to be a part of the experience and what it is you're putting together, regardless of what it is you're doing in our industry. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
So if people are trying to find out more about the industrial, where are they going to see all the awesome things that you're doing?
Yeah. So our website, theindustrialvegas.com, is going to have all of our information of our layouts, what we offer, our services, as well as photos and videos. We do have links to all our social media. Probably Instagram is probably the best place to kind of see announcements and events that we've done. So you can kind of get those cool ideas that we've done. It's the industrial underscore event space on there. And then also kind of if you are in the event professional world, we are hosting a showcase open house on the 23rd. So if you are interested in that, please reach out on our website and we could send you a personal invite to that so you can see the space and see everything that we're doing here.
Awesome. Awesome. And if people want to get a hold of you personally, I mean, you said a lot of great things here. So if people want to get a hold of you and chat about it, how are they getting a hold of you?
Yeah, you could fill out a form on our website too. I can give you guys my email address. It's Josh at theindustrialvegas.com. I'm on LinkedIn as well. I'm here to kind of help brainstorm, talk about anything in the hospitality world, or come on by our venue and check it out. So feel free to contact me at any time.
Awesome, Josh. I really appreciate that. Well, I've had a great time today. Thank you very much. I hope everybody has heard the awesome things you've been talking about here because it's very clear you have a great venue, very passionate team, very passionate owner. So I'm hoping that a lot of people reach out to you and put their events on there in Vegas.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Chris. Really appreciate it.
No problem. We'll talk to you again next time. All right. Thanks, Josh.
Talk soon. Bye.
All right. Bye.